Alright, fuck faces, welcome back to. Oh fuck, I have to burp. There you go. Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, welcome back to practicing portraits. Right, artwod, portrait roadmap. Again, artwod is the fucking best. It's just the best. Right, need I say any more? If you want to learn spatial reasoning, if you want to learn drawing from imagination, if you want to have a platform which gives you the fucking best exercises and you can just go off on them, right, and just extensively practice them and become a god, right? Not that I'm a god or anything, but my spatial reasoning has gotten 100 times better since I started them 2 years ago, right? Either way, yeah, artwod. As always, I'm not affiliated. I'm just a dick rider, right? And ride that dick I shall. Bounce, bounce, bounce. That's my inner monologue when I draw. Specifically regarding to Antonio, the founder of Artwad. But anyways, he actually put out a video. Oh yeah, draw along, draw along. You guys all know the fucking deal. And girls, but yeah, please draw along. Please, if you need a reason, if you need actionable steps, please use these video as actionable steps. Please practice your spatial reasoning. Please, hopefully use pen as your primary medium to instill confidence. If any of this sounds intimidating and scary to you, please reframe your mindset that difficult things and putting the effort towards difficult things are the only things that matter, right? Which is why, like, this is shit. This was okay, and this was pretty shit, right? Like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day because I'm putting in a lot of effort. In the portrait roadmap, I'm doing the exercise where I look at a portrait reference, which I have on my iPad to the left of me, and I just try to project a sphere inside the box, and then contour lines, vertical and horizontal. Oh, sorry, center lines, vertical and horizontal, inside the sphere, inside that box. If that sounds like a lot of work, it is. So again, it's just about the effort. It's just about the effort. Now you put in. Alright, anyways, like I made a huge mistake last time with this one. So I'm gonna keep trying to, obviously I want a bottom angle one now, right? And because I have made such a huge mistake with this one, it's clear to me that my form wrapping, what is form wrapping? I hope it's a bit self-explanatory, but it's when you wrap shapes around a form. Like, for example, what I'm doing is I'm literally wrapping, I'm doing form wrapping, but I guess you could call it a higher level, is I'm wrapping hard surface or blocky or yeah, you know, mechanical shapes, whatever the fuck, around a sphere, which is following this contour, right? This center vertical. What the fuck am I saying? This vertical center line, this horizontal center line. Yeah, my brain's really tired. Like 3 hours of drawing today. I fucking overestimated the shit out of myself. I was like, I'll do 7 because I wanted to get it all done for the next week before the end of for the end of the year. But I'm just gonna do 4 and then I'll do another 3 when the weekend comes up. Right? At least this week will be all set and done. But yeah, please draw along. Please draw along. Please challenge yourself, right? Please stop being an absolute pussy. If you're a beginner, I assume you are a pussy, just like I was, right? So, the first step to not being a bitch is to continue being a bitch, but working through it, right? That's the only way. You know, you don't stop being a bitch. You just accept that you are one and you keep working hard. But anyways, are there any bottom face angles that I can see? Oh, there you go. This guy has a nice hat. What the fuck? It's a really nice hat. It's a fedora, but he's a model, so he makes it work. Right. Anyways, let's see. Okay, so again, what am I doing? I'm looking at the reference, and you're gonna see immediately I'm gonna start wiggling my fingers around. What is happening? I'm gonna try to articulate as well as I can as like what I'm thinking of. Well, again, I'm thinking about the box. I'm trying to put a box on his face. I'm thinking about the planes that are residing, the center and horizontal lines within that, and then I'm trying to project a sphere inside that box as well, right? That is the first step. The second step is obviously trying to figure out the center line and the horizontal center line and the vertical center line and the horizontal center line. Again, clearly I can't explain shit for shit, especially not now. So please draw along. I'm going insane. Please, I beg of you. All right. You guys must be wondering, how is he this retarded? And the answer is yes. So, like, I actually make really fucking retarded faces when I'm doing these voices, right? Like when I did that chuckle there, my face contorted, much like Joker's does. But what is it, like the fucking Indian Joker? Nowhere near to that extent, but I guess me being brown, that's appropriate, isn't it? But anyways, like while I'm doing this, like when I'm not looking at the reference like I am right now, I'm trying to visualize and hold the projection that I had towards the reference with the box, the sphere inside the box, and the center lines, horizontal and vertical inside that sphere inside the box. I'm trying to hold it and I'm trying to project it, like transfer it over here, right? And then, you know, like looking at the reference again for relative accuracy, but this is basically spatial reasoning. This is the extremely difficult part about spatial reasoning. And again, like I feel as if I haven't been trying hard enough. Wow, what a shock. I don't feel like I was fucking putting enough effort, right? But that is how I feel 99% of the time when I draw. It's like I didn't put enough effort, but I simply tell myself, hey, you put in effort, which is all that matters. My voice is really hoarse today. I don't know why, but yeah. And I think this is like clearly the established size of the ellipse that I'm using, or the sphere that I'm using, right? So again, let's look at like what is the angle. I think right now it's this angle. I think this is, because again, I'm looking at the guy's eye, right? His eyes are like this, and then his ears over here. So it must be something like this, right? That's the bottom of the face. And we got the center line. And then this is what I'm seeing, by the way. This is literally what I'm, but on a much larger scale. And it's actually very, very difficult for me to see perspective on a larger scale, which is a skill to train, right? But like this is basically what I'm understanding, you know. And then yeah, you got the eyebrows, right? Right, he's got the nose. We'll just turn that into like flat shape right now, and then the bottom of the lip, whatever. that lip went to shit. But this is just what I'm trying to understand in terms of the perspective. Right, so the center line. Oh, and let me talk about Antonio's video. He put out a video saying pro artist. Why am I enunciating so much? But pro artist critiques tutorials, something like that. It's the latest one. It's December 23rd today, so whatever December, I think it was like December 22nd or 21st he released it. Or actually it might have been today, whatever. December 20 something, 21st to 23rd he released, yeah, pro artist critiques beginner art tutorials. And the thing is, like, a couple people were giving him shit in their video, being like, you're being too negative, or like, why are you being a dick and stuff. He has actually, like, if you actually watch the entire video, he's just very tired and exasperated from beginner art tutorials, right? Beginner in quotes and then tutorials in quotes, right? Because dude, like, again, most of these fuckers, A, don't know how to teach, and B, they have forgotten their, like, what I always bitch about. People just don't know what the word beginner means anymore, and Antonio clearly feels very strongly about it, because he had equally, and while I'm talking, by the way, which is a skill, I'm talking while thinking and drawing. I'm not just talking for shits and giggles. I'm literally still actively thinking as much as I can of the box, right? And I'm only saying this to put into perspective that these are all skills, and I'm constantly thinking. Like, at no point, to the best of my ability, am I just letting my brain wander. And when it does, to the best of my ability, I'm bringing my focus back. Right, so again, I'm trying to figure out, like, how is this subtle, is this pronounced ellipse, right? Like, what is going on here? And I think this is relatively accurate, but also inaccurate enough that I can see the inaccuracies, right? But yeah, no, okay, that's actually pretty decent. But again, Antonio specifically, like, I can tell he's very tired, just like I am, of people's definitions of beginner artists, which is, hey, you should already understand form, line, spatial reasoning, and you should be able to do manipulations. What the fuck, in which goddamn universe, in which universe, I say, in the fucking, the Nixon, I don't know where that came from, but anyways, like, in which universe is being able to do all those skills, it's just, in which universe, is that a fucking, yeah, is it, hold up. Oh, this is way too curved already. Can I salvage this? Okay, the line was clearly went to shit and was not salvageable, but this is actually pretty decent. This is actually pretty decent. Now, let me get this guy's nose out, right? Because I want to project and understand the center line of this nose, right? Which is why the center line is so important. Because again, I'm not trying to get an accurate nose, I'm just trying to get a nose which reinforces my understanding, or essentially informs me whether I have an understanding of the center line, right? Okay, so that's relatively accurate. And then we got the lips, which follow that. He has some tick lips. And yeah, like, I am relatively kind of trying to train my proportions, but it's not really the end goal. The end goal is just to understand whether I understand, right? And I think I kind of do, but not really, right? Which is where I want to be, which is trying to constantly see. This is the model thing of, like, always having your lips open. It's all right, okay, but the nose is relatively accurate, which I'm okay with, right? But again, what about the eyebrows? And obviously, you know, tonal whiplash for anybody. I'm just constantly gonna keep going back and forth in topics, but, or maybe you simply don't give a shit. And if you don't, I say congratulations, or you have focused on what matters, which is hopefully your own art, right? And again, his eyes are closed, but for the sake of this, let me just try to make it so it follows the contour of the sphere. His eyes are closed, but I'm just gonna make it open for the sake of this video. Let's have him looking down at us. Right, something like that. But yeah, I can tell Antonio's also very tired and very exasperated by dude, these yeah, I need to make these spheres a bit smaller. They're getting bigger and bigger, and I guess it's okay. I just want to establish a general proportion consistency, if that makes sense. Like if my spheres go from, let's just say like they go from generally like this to this, or like this, right? Like let's say like that's the size variance I want, right? Like if this is like 100%, let's say this is like 70%, right? Like that's the general. I feel as if this is definitely like 100, like this is the max I should go in terms of size, right? But overall, like this is pretty okay. I feel as if I definitely got a relative understanding of the features. And again, like this is where perspective comes into play, because then, you know, like the jawline's here, right? And his face comes down here, right? And then like the chin is there, and then we got the ear here, and then there you go, like ears like that, and it's just all slowly, and then this is the neck, right? And then he's got like a collar or whatever the fuck. But you see, like it's slowly, like it makes things a lot easier to understand when you got the sphere and everything's going off that. And again, like the jaw in and of itself is sticking out, right? Like this is something that is sticking out, right? But it helps, it really helps to understand in perspective, like how these things are looking. And I'm only able to even get this understanding right now because of the 28 prior reps to really thinking about the center line, the horizontal and vertical center line. And I'm pretty sure this is actually pretty off, and it should be more like this. Like I'm pretty certain that I've actually gotten this quite off. Yeah, like I actually do think I've gotten it quite off in general. Like that, I clearly struggle with the vertical center line. I think I definitely struggled with it here as well. In this angle, right, this bottom angle, I definitely struggle with the vertical center line, but the horizontal center line I seem to have a better time now that I put a lot of effort into that. So clearly I need to refocus a lot of effort into the vertical center line as well. And with that being said, obviously now we're going to hold this projection. We're going to try to, again, fix that, like fix the center lines that we're seeing, right? While again, what am I seeing? I'm trying to see the box, right? I'm trying to see the box. Oh, so much to think about. My brain is actually really feeling it right now, but I'm trying to see the box, trying to see the sphere inside the box, trying to see this the center lines, the vertical and horizontal center lines inside the box. But yeah, what Antonio was saying, he was basically just tired of people saying, this is a video for beginner artists, and then it's just like, draw a fucking amazing thing, or like, here, draw something with zero explanation, or here, this is a time lapse, right? He's just extremely tired of it. I've always thought that it was fucking stupid, even in my first 2 years, which were like really true beginner years, right? Like even in my first 2 years, which you can check out on my channel, right? This is a video for beginner artists. You are not alone, in brackets. You are not alone. You are not alone. But fucking channel plug or video plug aside, I mean, I think it's a good video to really tell people exactly what the fuck work is done in the beginning, right? And what the work actually looks like. But either way, that point aside, I was really tired of it too. Like even when I was in those beginning years. By the way, I'm only on year 3, by the way. Or we just finished year 3. We're within year 4 right now, because it's been 3 years and 1 month, right? Like, I've always been fucking tired of dipshits or well-intentioned but poorly attributed, well-intentioned or poorly translated teachings from more advanced artists, right? Like, because, like, again, Antonio says like a lot of experienced people have compound knowledge, right? And that is true. Like a lot of experienced people do have compound knowledge, right? But the issue is the fact that they don't understand that they have compound knowledge. Right? Like they literally don't understand that they have compound knowledge. So what does that mean? That means that someone who is skilled in something doesn't understand that there are a myriad of skills within the thing that they're skilled in that are simply inaccessible to the people that they're trying to teach, who they believe also do like have the ability to immediately have those skills, if that makes sense. Basically, somebody who's good at something doesn't understand that what they're good at takes multiple things to be just good at that, what they seem to believe to be one thing, but there are many things, i.e. they have one primary skill, which is comprised of multiple meta skills, sub skills, right, within that meta, like that larger skill. And a lot of people who are well-intentioned don't seem to understand that, hey, like there's actually way more to this than I ever realized, because I've forgotten. And that's just a fact. Like they've just forgotten, right? Like they've literally just forgotten. Voice crack. They've literally just forgotten like all the things they did in the beginning that really helped them out. So they're, well-intentioned but fucking useless, to be honest, like in terms of actually helping beginners, because then a beginner is like, oh, but I can't do that. Why am I just shit, right? They said it's a beginner thing. It's like, no, you're not shit. They just don't know how to teach you. Right? And that's the problem with like these beginner art tutorials, is like not everybody's a teacher. I'm barely a teacher, right? Oh, speaking of, let me tell you what I'm thinking of right now, because again, if I can't teach, I can at least explain to the best of my ability what's going on in my head. Well, I'm constantly trying to see the box that is accurate to this box. I'm constantly trying to project project, like I'm trying to project this, right? Because right now I want to think more about form wrapping than some sort of helmet design. I feel as I've already fucked it up a decent amount, right? Because I feel as if this should have been a lot higher, right? 100% should have been higher. But now it just comes down to like, okay, how do I problem solve this, right? Like, how do I problem solve this? Like, can I maybe just pretend like it didn't happen and make it a bit higher just through a line that reaffirms it? Maybe. But even then, like, okay, what am I trying to think of? I'm trying to think of this. I'm trying to think of this center line, right? The vertical center line, horizontal center line. I'm also trying to see the entire sphere, right? Is the sphere too big? Is it too small? It seems to be relatively decently proportioned. And I'm trying to think about the box on top of all of that. Or yeah, it's like 3 layers of thought, right? Box, sphere, contour lines, center lines. Sorry, I keep saying contour lines because technically they are contour lines, but they're centered, right? So center lines, vertical and horizontal center lines, and like that's a million different things to think about, right? So we need, and this is why I'm talking about like trying to see everything at once, because I don't know if I'm accurately, if yeah, like I'm really trying to explain. I do apologize. Like I know I'm not the best teacher, and I'm not trying to be an incredible teacher, but at the same time, I would love to help people. And so I hope me constantly saying here are all the different like fucking 50 things that I'm thinking about, which doesn't even account for my line confidence, which is also subpar, by the way. Like we're not even talking about that just yet, right? I hope it helps. And again, like I just lost the perspective. Completely I lost the perspective. So now I'm trying to recalibrate, being like, shit, what was it? What was I doing? What was the thing that I was trying to see? Right? Like it's a lot. And I know it's a lot, which is why I keep trying to say, I keep trying to reaffirm to myself and to everybody listening or watching, whatever the fuck, right? Hopefully you're drawing, is that there's a lot to think about. That's normal, right? The repetitions you're doing right now, the repetitions I'm doing right now isn't like the final product. It's just the attempts, the fucking multiple attempts to think. Because I'm also trying to design, right? What the fuck is design? Okay, like let's say I got a box. I got to think about maybe like, can I do an angle, right? Can I do an angle? I don't know. Let's try, right? Like, is this gonna make sense? I don't know. Let's try, right? Like, it's just, right? Like, does this work? Who fucking knows? I'm pretty sure I already fucked it up. Yeah, like it's not as nearly as tilted, right? But I gotta keep trying at the very least, and we gotta try making it subtle, right? Maybe we can do something like this, right? Like again, we're trying to adjust it as we go along. And you know, a lot of times it won't really work. Like it just won't really work. And like again, my lines are subpar and I'm trying to make sense out of it, but is it making sense? Who knows, right? But again, I'm like right now the main goal is just, okay, try to like some sort of shape. Try to just make some sort of contour, form wrapping, right? Try to make sense of it. Like now I'm trying to reinforce this, right? Because I'm trying to see it. I'm trying to make sure that it makes sense. But is it happening? Who knows? Who knows if it's actually happening, right? Because again, like it's a lot to think about. And my lines are also not incredible. Right? And maybe I've lost it again, right? Maybe, being the operative word, maybe. But who knows? Right? I'm just trying to put something inside, hopefully what is as perfect as a sphere as I can, right? But anyways, like, yeah, like I completely agree with Antonio, completely agree. Is like, beginners don't know how, not beginners, advanced artists don't know how to translate their skills into tangible, actionable steps, or explain that, hey, there's a lot of things going on, and they forget that there's multiple things going on. What's going on right now, right? I'm able to put a plane, right, a box-like shape that's also tapered, right? It's angled, so like it's angled inwards, you know. So I'm able to calculate those angles. That's already 2 skills right there, right? 3 skills, sorry, because I'm able to draw a box, right, or a box-like shape. I'm able to wrap it around a sphere in my head. So another 2 shapes, because visualization of the sphere as well as visualization of the contour, right, the center line. So that's 2 skills, right, just as a prerequisite, right? 3 skills, sorry, because there's a box, the sphere, and then the center line, vertical center line. So 3 skills, right? So visualization of those 3 skills, and then I'm able to create a box around it. And this box isn't just a normal box, it's wrapped around that contour line, and it's tapered, right? And it's multiple rounded. So sorry, that's another, like, what is that, like 6 skills already? Oh look, and I'm adding little cutouts on top of it, and I'm also designing, so that's like a myriad of skills in my head as well. Am I good at designing? No, but I'm trying to design, right? So that's the point I'm gonna keep trying to make, is the fact that there's a lot, and fucking again these, like, again, like, you can be skilled. Everybody can be skilled, but to be, and I don't think I centered this properly, but to be skilled and also to be able to translate your skill, like to be able to give somebody else that skill, essentially, right? Like, it's a responsibility, and you have to be very careful how you do it, because it's not easy. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a huge mistake here. Now we need to figure out a way to reinforce. Yeah, we need to figure out a way to reinforce the perspective, which is obviously it's not happening. I think I already fucked it up a decent amount, right? Yeah, and it's not a perfect sphere either, so there's like a lot going on here, and I keep losing the perspective. I want to be very clear. I keep losing the perspective, right? Here, maybe there's just like a sphere embedded in here. Bars. See, like, what is this? Like, I understand the form that I'm drawing, right? There's so much going on. There's so much going on. And obviously, like, look, I struggle to really tilt things. I really struggle to tilt things. So I'm going to do this angle again, because clearly this is something I struggle with, right? Like, I struggle to keep that contour line very tilted and to showcase that it's tilted, right? Because otherwise we would have seen a lot more of this in our face. Like, this would have been tilted more up. But you see how, like, every little thing I'm doing requires so many different skills, right? So many different skills. And beginners just, and sorry, artists don't know how to translate that to beginners, which is why artwod, I'll fucking decry them till death, bro. I'm telling you, like, it's fucking too good. But I know many of you will probably not, yeah, many of you are probably not ever gonna actually do any of this because you don't have a good mindset around learning, right? Which is like, it's too difficult. Many of you don't care to learn something this difficult, which is completely fine, right? But I know there are a lot of you who would love to be able to maybe not draw like me, right? But just be able to draw from imagination, be able to draw, you know, like, have good perspective skills. Many of you will probably cope and be like, oh no, it's not that important. It's like, yes, it's the most important fucking thing is spatial reasoning in art. Okay, I will die on that hill. Clearly, look at this. Like, I can do this from my mind. Bro, can I do it easily? No, because I don't want to do it easily, but I can do it because I'm training myself to do it, right? But you know, that's that ramble aside. Yeah, the point I'm trying to make is, and the point Antonio was making in that video was like, yeah, fucking, you can't keep calling everything a beginner video because it's not. Okay, so like, that's obviously off perspective. So I did fuck this up quite a bit in terms of perspective, but again, like, it's very difficult, right? And like, I didn't see the box properly. I lost the box completely actually here. This should have been way more angled outward like so, right? And what else can we do? And again, like, before I even, because it's so intuitive, or just, it's such a bad habit in general, but it's become intuitive. Like, oh, go to the other side. I've already calculated. It's like, no, no, dipshit. No, you haven't. You haven't calculated shit because you've already fucking lost the box like 10 times, and the ellipse and the center line. So take a step back and be like, okay, so that's like this. This should be like that, right? Is that correct? No, it should have been higher up. There you go. Is that still correct? Maybe, maybe not. Who fucking knows, right? But don't just jump to things, right? And I'm even kind of doing it now as I'm saying I shouldn't jump to things, right? But like, I'm still trying to problem solve. And now look, that completely made it off perspective and it looks like garbage. Why? Because this should have been higher up and I should have seen that and I should have taken a step back and I should have done something about it. This angle is kind of mid. It doesn't really make much sense, right? I don't know, maybe something like that. Who knows? But I tried wrapping shapes around. Some of it worked, a lot of it didn't, right? But clearly, like, this is what I need to focus on. So that's why I'm focused on purely not even trying to design a helmet or anything, even though I did end up designing one. But I think that's a good mindset to have right now, clearly. And even there's like a lot of things here that are just not working, right? Like, there's just a lot of things here that aren't working. But again, clearly, like, just this is like a nice frame shift for me in the sense that just thinking about it purely in terms of, hey, like, we're just trying to design, like, we're just trying to figure out some sort of form wrapping shapes around a sphere is already helping me create something that's a bit more cohesive, hopefully. But again, like, so many mistakes, which is good. I feel good about these mistakes, right? But anyways, I think I went on like 5 different tangents and none of them were conclusive, and it just ended up with me bitching about nothing. So with that beautiful soliloquy aside, I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. All right, beautiful. We all needed that silence before I started talking. Okay, but yeah, I guess this is a pretty interesting design. But again, like I really need to keep visualizing the contours. Not contours, but yes, contours. But yeah, center lines. I will like to. Fuck me, my head bounced against the ring light again, which is what the camera is attached to. It's like a whole setup. Not really a whole setup. It's just that's what it is. It's a ring light camera, fucking machine thingamajiggy. But yeah. Anyways, okay. Okay, back to projecting the box. Let's try to get this one a bit more accurate this time, right? Like yeah, I understand it a bit better. We just gotta make sure we project it a bit better because this is pretty mediocre, right? Let's see. Wait, that's just the point I'm trying to make, and I think the point Antonio's trying to make. And wow, would you look at that? I'm pretty sure I said that sentence like 5 times at this point. But oh, and I'm trying to see the box while I'm doing this. I'm trying to hold the projection that I vaguely have in my head. Okay, not a perfect circle, but it's okay. It's not bad, right? And again, this is a pretty. It's not that wide, is it? I don't think it's that wide. Let's see. Okay, it's angled more for sure. Definitely angled more. Let's see. But again, like the box in of itself, we need to. Okay. I think it's something like this. Not an insane projection or angle. I keep fucking interchanging words that don't need to be interchanged. Interchange. But yeah, see, like this is what it's way more accurate this way, right? And I think the horizontal center line is definitely yeah, more pronounced. But not super pronounced, but definitely more pronounced. So something like this is really hard for me to see, right? So again, that's where thinking about the box and thinking about the sphere, the contour and everything comes into play. Because let's see. Oh, see, I ended it too short. And I didn't curve it properly. Yeah, see, like, so I fucked up the center line because I didn't have like a peak curve. And then the end of this here is like also not curved properly enough. But this is still pretty decent, right? It's really like, this is a huge mistake. Like this right here, yeah, like that right there and that right there are huge mistakes. But that's the thing, you have to be able to be really honest and be like, is it exactly, in terms of spatial reasoning, is it equivalent to what I saw? No? Then it's a huge mistake, right? And then you feel good. I literally feel good right now. You just feel really good about the fact that you made a huge mistake, right? Let's just keep this guy's eyes closed for the sake of this fucking thing. And then again, try to think about the center line, bring his nose out, right? Draw the nose. More so about just understanding, like, do I understand? Answer is, you understand relatively, right? There'll always be more nuance, and that's the beauty about faces. Faces are extremely nuanced, right? And, oh yeah, I guess, here, let's just draw the top of his eyelid. Like so. Yeah, his face is closed here, I guess, but either way, I don't think I got the, actually, I think I fucked up the center line this time around, right? Let's see here, let's pick his nose for him. There you go. I mean, I fucked up the right nostril for sure. It's too thick, and again, you can see like my lines have a lot of issues, right? My lines have a lot of issues, and again, we're trying to find the center line. If I look at this, right, it's very difficult to figure out because there's a lot going on. I fucked up his lips. Okay, fuck it. If I fucked up his lips, let's just leave it at that. That is more accurate, not that. But either way, right? I don't know. Maybe I want to do that. That just kind of looks like shit. Okay, but either way, overall, at least like the angling is becoming more accurate. Right? But what I'm trying to say, and I will say that multiple times, I guess, in every single fucking one of my videos, clearly, is what I'm trying to say is that people who become skilled in something forget the skills and extreme amounts of effort they put towards becoming skilled in that thing, right? So that was Antonio's main thing, is like either people don't know how to teach or they don't know how to transfer their skill, which is, you know, in part teaching, but like they don't know how to essentially, they don't know how to break it down for beginners. They don't know how to think like beginners. A true beginner is someone who who can barely put down a good line, right? Who just can't spatially reason. They can't. Like for a true beginner, this box right here is a lot of thinking, and it is a lot of thinking. Okay, that's the truth. It's a lot of thinking, and it's hundreds of hours of thinking, and it's hundreds and thousands of repetitions of thinking, right? And application, thinking while applying, thinking, applying, thinking while applying, like constantly this fucking siren song and this dance, trying to apply all these things, right? All I'm doing right now is just a few levels above that, right? If I may be so egotistical to say that, right? Like it's only a few, it's, I guess you could say it's a few levels above that, right? But it's like people just, and I'm only so passionate about it now because obviously I've gone through a lot of this work, which is essentially like how, like, basically because I've gone through all this work. And by the way, I'm thinking, right? So it's hard to speak while thinking. So I'm continuously going to work on the skill of thinking while talking, right? Drawing, thinking while talking. But the reason, obviously, I can say this with as much fucking, the fucking, what is it? Like artist rage, whatever you want to call it. Not rage, but you know, as much passion, right? As much passion, as much strong feelings, right? Just like Antonio, right? Because like he feels really strongly about tutorials because as a beginner he was in tutorial hell, right? He was constantly in tutorial hell. And yes, one can, you know, maybe there's an argument to be made like, oh, it's his fault, blah blah blah. But sure, the point is like he was in tutorial hell in part too because the tutorials he was watching were fucking useless, right? This is the video for beginner, it's for beginners. Like now here's how you draw a fucking circle, draw a circle, draw a circle. Now draw the entire fucking amazing portrait. Like what the fuck, right? Or here's just a sped up time lapse of me stroking my own dick. But look, it's a drawing of me stroking my own dick. Oh, amazing, 100,000 likes, right? Useless, all fucking useless for beginners, right? And again, in our wonderful short form media brain rot generation, half of you don't even understand that what you're doing is fucking your entire learning experience, right? Because obviously you would like to assume that the people you're watching, you would like to genuinely believe that they're providing value for you, right? You would. Unfortunately, many of them aren't. Dare I say even most of them aren't. Only me. Like and subscribe. That's so funny. That was a shitty fake laugh too. It was like a real laugh and then it turned fake and I'm like, oh god, just commit. And if you're wondering how that happened in a microsecond, I'm wondering the same thing. It's like I lost all my emotion while I was laughing. But anyways, that's for my therapist to uncover. But no, I don't have a therapist. I'm brown. They will never understand my struggles. Have you tried talking to your parents? Oh yes, I've tried talking to the belt, right? I didn't get beat as a child, don't worry. Maybe some of you did, right? And I do empathize, right? Because I had friends who got beaten. I don't know why this conversation is going in this direction. Let's continue. Yes, my friends did get beaten anyways. But anyways, I'm thinking, let's see. But yeah, like we feel passionately and like, again, Antonio went through artist hell. I went through fucking like just constantly being in a community, like, you know, Reddit, YouTube, like, you know, beginner artists, and like just again fucking artists just being like, here's something for beginners. Let's start with assuming you know how to spatially reason very well. What the fuck, right? And then again, like, or just like in videos where artists are just promoting a poor mindset of ha ha ha, boxes are so hard. I dislike Spilled Ink so much. I'm subscribed to them. But Spilled Ink, the YouTube channel, like, I remember it was like drawing things that we hate, and it was just difficult things. I've talked about this before, and it was just like anything that required even a fucking iota of understanding of perspective and form, right? It's like, oh, a bike, oh, a fucking house, oh, a car, oh, like a steering wheel, anything that required any understanding of form, they were immediately like, oh, I don't know how to do this, oh, like, oh, it's so hard. I hate that fucking mentality. I hate it with a goddamn passion, right? I think Didus and Emily are pretty chill people. They've come on Trash Taste. I've watched a couple, blah blah blah. Like they're cool, but they do not promote a good artist mentality because the entire comment section are just a bunch of fucking losers. Also being like, I also can't draw that thing. I guess we're all just shit together, instead of being like, wow, like doing difficult things is good and fun and I enjoy it, right? Or even I want to be someone who enjoys doing difficult things. Like, come on, bro. This is why, like, I really, really, really hope this channel takes off, because I want a fucking legion of people who just have the one mindset that I'm gonna fucking try as hard as I can, and that's all that matters, and it's good. Like, that has value. Like, that's what it means to be hashtag ViggyFammer. Let it be known, I'm defining what it means to be a hashtag ViggyFammer, which is someone who tries hard and enjoys that effort and has a growth mindset. Right? That is a ViggyFammer. If you don't have that, you can train yourself to be that. If you don't want to train yourself to be that, get the fuck off my channel and ViggyFam elsewhere. Actually, no, if you're ViggyFamming elsewhere, you're actually being positive. Un-ViggyFam elsewhere. Like, negative ViggyFam elsewhere. Which, okay, at that point, I'm just saying to promote, promote fucking, like a fucking fixed mindset and not enjoying learning. Don't ViggyFam at all. Don't do anything with ViggyFam. Get the fuck off my channel if you don't want to actually have a positive mindset around learning. Right? But if you do, focus on the effort, focus on the errors, right? Continue watching me just making squiggles while I talk random bullshit, because clearly this is the entertaining part. No, I'm really thinking really hard. Like, I really want to be very clear. I'm thinking so fucking hard, right? But this is the 4th hour of drawing, and I can't think of like any unique, quote unquote, unique or interesting form wrapping. Maybe I could start with this, actually. You know, maybe let's start with something like this. There you go. And we'll see where this goes. Okay, so I really have to I really have to spatially reason this. There you go. Right? It's a bit better. It's a bit better. Okay, and now what is... See, I just made that without thinking, because I'm just so used to be like, oh, add an angle to something. It's like, the fuck? Shut up. Don't just add an angle to something, you piece of shit. Actually do something with it. God damn it. Okay, so like, it's really hard to think, which is good. Right, really hard to think, which is good. Which means... Let's see, again, I need to spatially reason. There you go, something like that. And, okay, how can we connect this? How can we connect this? Oof, now this is hurting my brain a lot, right? And this is what I want, by the way. This is what I want. I want my brain to be fucking dying. Dying, I say dying, right? So, maybe this episode will be a canon event for some people. They're like, holy shit, this is the episode where he defined what hashtag Viggy famming meant. Who would have thought it would be such a noble definition, right? Meanwhile, I just want your money. Anyways, what was I saying? I was bitching about something or the other. I can't think anymore because I literally can't think. I literally cannot think. But let's see. Okay, let's try something like, and again, we have to keep this in perspective. Oh god. Something like that. Let's see, I want to... There you go, something like that. Ah, fuck, man, this is so hard to think. This is actually so hard to think. But I must do it. I must do it for the cause. To prove that, hey, this is actually really good for me. Right? Isn't that really all I'm trying to prove, is the fact that anybody can do this, right? Anybody can go through this excess amount of effort. That literally anybody can do it. That's really all I want to prove, right? I guess some people just require a bit more convincing, so I just gotta spend my entire life and dedicate a channel to convince them. It's kind of a simple task when you think about it, right? Dedicate your life. Just dedicate your life to prove that anybody can draw. And then when you still have people saying, well, no, because you couldn't do this, well, then you reincarnate. And then you dedicate your life again. To be like, well, this time I've stacked the deck, for I've been born with the skills I learned in the last life. Right? Just start talking about growth mindset out of the womb. You know, his first words were Huberman Lab episode 357. How to learn motor skills faster. Essentials. That's hilarious. I'm fucking hilarious. Anyways. Okay. So, still having a lot of trouble. But now here, I think, there you go. We're hopefully turning the tide, as they say. Right. And like, I'm like tilting my head a little bit too, but is it working? I don't think it's working. Let's see. Now what is happening here, right? Now obviously like I fucked that up too, but point is, Oh man, this is so difficult. There you go. What about something like that? And obviously on the other side, we have to think. Okay, what's happening here? Something like that? No, I still struggle so much with this angle, clearly. So much I struggle with this angle. What the fuck was I bitching about earlier? I felt as if I was going on a good tangent. It was making me erect. But something about yeah, advanced artists don't really know what the fuck they're how the fuck to teach people. I guess that's basically the point I'm trying to make, is like not every advanced, obviously there's a lot, but I loved Antonio in that video. He's so cheeky. He's like, you don't have to sign up for artwod, we're simply the best. And I'm just like, I can attest to that. But you know, I didn't really say that because I wasn't there for the video. But okay, now how do we make this look interesting? Like again, it's still the bottom view, right? It's just like, it's clearly the bottom view, but I'm just trying to like this is just on top, so let's do something like this. I don't know what that is. Again, I'm not thinking anymore, bro. It's so hard. It's so fucking hard. Oh my god, my brain is literally dying. Right, and we'll just close it off here. I have no idea what this is, by the way. I literally have no idea what I've done here. Like, no idea. But what do we want? Maybe I just want to Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan, all I want to do. Anyways, that's just Team 4-star. Okay, now how does that look on the other side, right? If that's connecting like so, it's like that. Nah, this is so bad. This is actually like, I don't understand the perspective at all, and I completely lost it multiple times. It was going good, and then I was born. Nah, it's not working. It's just not working. So obviously, when in doubt, do it again. Right, just do the fucking angle again. I clearly don't understand it, and I don't have the right to continue until I do understand it. Right, like what the fuck is this? Like literally, I just completely lost track of what I was trying to do, and I couldn't think. But I'm so proud that I tried, of course. Okay, we'll leave it. I'm gonna rest my brain. Definitely. Okay, it's 42 minutes. Yeah, we definitely have time for number 31. Right, but let me rest my brain, and hopefully I'll remember what I was bitching about. Okay, and I encourage you to rest your brain as well. It's the thing about this angle, man. It's so subtle. It's so subtle that I clearly just have trouble understanding it. It's just very subtle. And I fucked up by adding this, because now it makes it look like this is the perspective, right? Or like this, sorry. Like this is the perspective, but that's not what I want. That's not what I want. I mean, I made the mistake, so clearly I have to live with it. It's just, it was going good. I was starting to understand what I was trying to do. Like, this was going okay. I had simply not made sure everything else was following it. Like, this is okay. It's actually still pretty fucking subpar, but it's okay. It's nothing incredible. Right? And of course, I'm just gonna keep adding shit to make it look worse and worse and worse. So stop adding lines. Stop it. He can't help it. He's retarded. But why? Why does he have to add lines? I told you, goddammit, he's missing a chromosome. All right, moving onwards. But what was I bitching about? It's usually the same shit about just being frustrated that people don't put in the work, or don't understand where to put in the work, or don't want to put in the work, or people don't know how to teach others what type of work to put in, and then it all segues back to me dick riding Artwod and Antonio. But what other conversation topics? Jesus Christ, topics do I have? What? Do I have anything of merit to say regarding anything? Probably not. The answer is a resounding no. But on the off chance that it's a yes, what can we direct that yes towards? Butthole, my giant gaping butthole. Why is it gaping? We'll have to ask the individual that penetrated. But unfortunately, God is busy, and so am I, fucking creating a shitty ass sphere. Not a perfect ellipse, not at all. But let's see. Well, third time's the charm, right? And now my brain's super dead, so third time truly is the charm, right? I genuinely can't think anymore, so that's good. Okay, is this as subtle as I wanted it to be? This is actually pretty decent in terms of subtlety. And obviously, like I see, like it's fucking lisp. I struggle. No, see, I struggle with this angle. This is another skill, right? For me, starting a line from this end and then going back like this is harder than starting it from this end and going like this. Never mind, I'm shit at both of them. I take it back. I struggle with this angle in general. Okay, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like I struggle with this sort of projection. Like my thumb reaching out like this, like whether it's this way, Jesus Christ, whether it's this way or this way, like anything in this range of motion, like we're just pushing out, because this is simple, this is a lot easier, right? This is okay, right? You see, these are all different skills. Even the way you hold your pen and the way you put down the mark, these are all skills, okay? Like all things that need hundreds of intentional repetitions to get better at, right? So yeah, with that being said, let me see if I can get this relatively accurate. I need to project the ellipse onto the sphere. That's pretty decent. That is pretty decent. I do think that it's actually off perspective, but it's not bad. Is it off perspective? If I look at the reference, it seems okay, but it has issues. It definitely has issues. And again, like, guys, I'm thinking about the box, right? I'm thinking about the sphere. I'm thinking about the contour lines. Like, it's all these things constantly I'm trying to think about. And clearly, it's super hard to do that and hold that in my mind while I'm trying to design something, right? Like, clearly, it's extremely difficult. So, again, these are things that are skills, and they're very hard to do, right? So, what was I bitching about? Anyways, let me try to recall what I was complaining about. Beginner artists not getting good quality content. Advanced artists or people more advanced not understanding the weight of their words when they say something is a tutorial, and then proceeding to bastardize the definition of tutorial by essentially providing either a time lapse or something that doesn't take into account that the skills that they're portraying are not beginner whatsoever, right? Resulting in many beginner artists being frustrated, demotivated, or believing that they're literally filth. That last one is true, right? That they definitely are filth, but there are filth, right? We have to take care of them. You know, you don't just throw your garbage away. You have to make sure, like, okay, like make sure this one goes in recycling, this one goes into the trash, right? And just like that, we have to siphon our trash into the right fundamentals, you know, so they become less trash. Great analogy, made complete sense. Anyways, okay. And then again, let's see. Okay, so here's his nostril. Here's other nostril. Oh, this is big nostril due to foreshortening. Okay, and then again, like while I'm looking at the reference, I'm not just trying to think, oh, okay, it's just a fucking shape or like just lines that I'm drawing. I'm trying to think, where does this sit on the sphere, on the center line, on the vertical center line? Like, how is this all being? This is probably the worst nose I've drawn thus far, to be honest, in terms of accuracy, because it's supposed to be straight, but I drew a curve. Much like my nose, I have a bit of a Roman nose, as they say. Even though I'm sure the Romans didn't really know that South Indians existed. Did they? Who fucking knows? No pun intended. Nose pun intended. Oh. Anyways, now that I'm done desecrating my image, which has already happened already happened on my channel, but let's see. How the fuck? Let's see, draw this guy's beautiful tick, succulent. I mean, draw his lips, right? Oh, pucker up, big boy, for I'm about to complete your features. Never mind. Apparently, it's just gonna look like shit. Okay, well, it's getting better. That was definitely the worst. This one's a bit okay, but at least I'm starting to understand just how to place features on a sphere, which is important, right? Is my mic still alive? Good. Here. Okay, so 49 minutes, voice crack, eminent, very nice, right? But I really need to figure out, well, not need to, well, urgency is important. Apparently when you're much more urgent, you learn a lot better. So let's like have the utmost of urgency. If I don't do this, I'm gonna die. There you go, that's pretty urgent. So I need to, why don't we do something like this, right? Really make it even more difficult for me in terms of spatial reasoning, right? Oof, now that is what I call difficult, right? And then we could, let's see, have something attached like so, right? Again, trying to, okay, see, like this is super difficult now, like this is extremely difficult, but I'm trying to think. No, it has to be up here. There you go. Okay, trying to think in terms of, okay, that's already off perspective. That's good. That means I fucked up, which is good, because that means I have room for growth, right? And again, you might be thinking like, where the fuck are you coming up with these shapes, bro? I'm just like trying to think like, okay, maybe this is a nose, that's the nostril area, maybe like something squarish will work. I can't explain ideation apart from what ifs. Like I'm just saying what ifs, and the what ifs are preceded by my knowledge and which is preceded by my practice, right? So like to break it down, when I think like what if I added like these two squares here, it's preceded by knowledge, which is just being able to draw, you know, two planes in perspective in a plane in a plane like that, which is a box like that, right? So that's preceded by my knowledge, which is preceded by experience, which is hundreds of repetitions, right? Like the knowledge is preceded by a lot of just, it's all just what ifs. It's like a positive feedback loop. Like what if I do this? Well, the what if is preceded by, okay, like I know how to do cutouts and I know how to draw planes in a specific orientation. Like also, like obviously I'm thinking about this contour line, right? So like now we go on to that. It's like, okay, well, what if I draw something like a multiple rounding on top of that, right? How do I know it's, how do I think about multiple rounding? Because I've done so many multiple roundings that naturally my mind goes to that as one of the pieces of knowledge, i.e. the experience, the skill that I've gained, right? So whenever you're trying to design or ideate, one thing that I'm realizing is really helpful, and again, maybe this is the way, maybe this isn't, maybe this is just a good way, maybe it's not the way that's going to help you, but give it a shot. And by shot, I mean at least 100 repetitions, right? Or at least 50 repetitions, which is when you're trying to ideate and experiment, what's really helped me is like, what if? And then the what if is like, okay, well, what do I know what to do? Well, I know how to add, I know how to do it addition. So what if addition? Like this is a simple addition because it's just like a projection of the grid lines that we're already seeing, right? Like what if addition, right? And then what if addition turns into, okay, like now that's just one part. What if diagonal? That's a whole new skill. Okay, like what if diagonal? I that's something I want to learn. Okay, let's try to think about that. What if diagonal, right? And then boom, like, okay, interesting shape. Now what if surrounding this ellipse, because I know how to draw an ellipse in perspective, right? What if underneath that, you know, it's like sorry, not ellipse, but cylinder, right? And like, what if attached to this is like, I don't know, another fucking diagonal, but it's going this way now, right? And what is that in relation to this, right? That line, which is still following this perspective. So you're just, it's just like, it's all what ifs. It's what's really helped me is just the what ifs. So same thing here. It's like, obviously this is all gonna be wrapped around this contour, right? So it's just like, what if, I don't know, like, okay, so what if I really follow the contour, right? Okay, that kind of seems to do something, like it does reinforce it, but like, okay, we have something here. So what if, now like, okay, this is big, right? So like maybe what if diagonal, multiple rounding, that again like projects outward and then it comes out like that, right? That didn't work that well, but let's see, and then I don't know, see, I don't know, I just don't know, right? And then what if, okay, like what if I actually elongate this, and this is a great way for me to practice my lines, right? Like what if this is actually just an addition, or like boxes stacked like so, right? And then what if this comes down, and yeah, it's just like that, it's just boxes stacked, right? And now what is this, like now, because now I can change the perspective on this, then like what if this follows this contour, comes back and then wraps around, right? Like, okay, this comes back around, wraps around. And I can't explain everything because again, like even though like I'm seeing all these angles and shit, like I just imagine like everything I'm drawing on is preceded by a plane. Like no matter what angle that I'm doing, if I'm doing something like this, right, there's a plane here, you know. If I'm doing something like this, right, if it's like that, then there's like a plane that's like this, you know. If I'm doing like something like this, right, like there's a plane here, you know, you can just assume, and obviously these are really bad examples, to be honest. I should have thought a bit more when I was doing these examples. But like, yeah, like, okay, let's say I'm doing something like this, where it's like that, I'm going like this, right? And then I'm like, okay, let's go down like this, right? And then something like that, right? And I'm just like, okay, now let's wrap it around, right? Okay, this is a much better example. So you might be like, where the fuck is he getting this from? Well, like, again, plane, 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 right? Oh, look, this is plane, but then it's projecting upwards like this to encompass this shape right here, right? So it's like just constantly expanding the planes, which is the grid, which is the box, right? And here it's difficult because the plane is actually a sphere, which is an infinite fucking ellipse. It's just like constantly curving. So I have to think about that as well, while also recognizing that the shapes I put on it will have their own edges, but they should be still following the perspective, right? So yeah, like this, does it make sense? Maybe, maybe not, but I've done it, right? What if I add little attachments in perspective to the best of my ability? Right, okay, we've done that. Then like, what if, what else? Like, see, like this right here, this right now is nothing, but I'm just trying to think, like, what the fuck does this turn into, right? What can this possibly turn into? You know? Okay, what if this is actually multiple rounded and it has it's, you know, subtracted, right? So again, we could do something like this. Subtracted, right? Line quality is poor. I didn't think about this properly. And then what if, I don't know, because again, we're trying to think about the contour, which is this, right? The center line, vertical center line, horizontal center line, right? Then it's like, okay, like what can I have something that's here, right? Like, and I've already done like a centerpiece, a centerpiece, a centerpiece, and then like two, like a centerpiece. So obviously I want to break out of that and be like, well, maybe I can have like three things because I've never really done three things, right? But like, how would that look, right? Because this is obviously the bottom. So how would that look in terms of a design, right? Then it's like, okay, like, I don't know, bro, like maybe something like that, right? I think that's off perspective, pretty sure, right? But maybe something like this, and then this is also multiple rounded, but let's say it actually, and maybe I can draw a hinge here now because I just got an idea, like it's actually like this, right? Like this, you know? And now this is a little hinge that I'm drawing. And does it look good? Not really, but like, okay, like something. It's definitely something. And like, I think hopefully maybe this is still off center, so maybe there's a way I can make this look less off center, right? Maybe something like that, right? I don't know. That doesn't really work. Okay, I fucked up. It was a huge mistake. Move on, right? What else? Like, it's all what ifs. That's what I'm trying to explain. It's like, it's all what ifs preceded by my knowledge of shape manipulations and the different skills I have within shape manipulation right now, which is angles, addition, subtraction, interlocking, a little bit of form blending, right? And because there's so many to think about, I still have to have some sort of imagination about it. It's like, okay, like this just came about because like, what if I just followed the contour, right? Like, same thing. Like, what if I just followed the contour and yeah, like that's the shape, you know? And then that we're just going to, this is just like a tube-like shape that's following it. There you go. Doesn't look like anything particularly impressive, but at the same time, I can now add maybe little contour manipulations, right? Now, obviously, I'm going to struggle a little bit here because still lots to think about, like with this, like that. There you go. Okay, cool. That would have kind of worked out, right? But this one didn't, right? And it's just constantly thinking about that, while not losing the contour, while not losing the box, while not losing the perspective. But it's not about being perfect. It's not like either you lose it and you're fucked, you're gone. It's just like, no, like just do your best not to lose it, right? And if we have, let's see, okay, like now we have a hinge here, right? So maybe I can just draw a hinge here as well. And now it's connected, right? Does it really look that good? No, it kind of really doesn't make any sense at all, let's be honest, right? But it's a what if, and it's a what if that failed miserably, but it's a what if nonetheless, right? Oh, let's see, what else? And like, I want to give it space, so instead I want to do maybe like a 3 thing here, like, okay, like what shape do we want for this 3 thing? Like, I want to do 3, right? Maybe this was number one, and then maybe number two is something like, okay, like again, let's follow the contour, right? Let's follow the contour. And again, like this is the bottom, so let's see, something like this. And you know, mine is really struggling to, and this is like way too far out. Let's see. Right, like I'm obviously struggling to come up with something decent here. And this is also not starting to make any sense. Because I'm telling you, like my brain is fucking dying. Right, my brain is literally dying. There you go. And like this is supposed to be some sort of connection I made here, but it seems to me that it's not gonna work out. So maybe this is just like a hinge. Right, maybe I can just kind of fraud this to be a hinge. It's off perspective now, which is great. See, like I fucked up the angling here too. There you go. It's completely off. It's completely off. Right. I didn't measure properly, right? It was really hard to see. Again, what can I do here? Well, what could be done here? That could at least make it look halfway decent, right? What angle, what if, what could be done? Maybe just as another hinge? Maybe. Right? Doesn't really make much sense anymore. Nothing really makes much sense anymore. But I'm trying, right? I'm trying, and it's hurting my brain a lot, and there's a lot of things to think about because design is now taking the precedent in my brain, which is causing a lot of pain, bars. But yeah, it can end up kind of looking similar to this. And we'll just keep this. There you go. And then obviously, because I do want it to at least showcase a little bit of that, like what do we want here? Like literally, what do I want here? I don't want the same thing as that. And again, I need to keep it in perspective. Nope, that's incorrect. Maybe that's a bit more correct. Oh my god. See, it's all over the place. See? Completely off, completely off. And I can't even tell what's off anymore because my brain's really tired. My lines are really shit. And that's just how it is. And I hope, again, like, when I am great, big when, big little fucking offset into the future, I hope many people will look at this as a very inspirational, or at least like an honest, like, okay, wow. So he just kept trying and trying and trying and failing and trying and failing. Like and he just kept trying and failing on the right things because there are right things to try and fail on, right? And it's important to fail on the right things because if you fail on the wrong things, then, and yes, there are probably wrong things that I'm failing at right now, right? Which is where learning and trial and error and trying to figure things out comes into play, right? Like that's the whole point, you know? That's literally where learning comes into play. There you go. Okay, that one looks all right. Yeah, it's all right. Here, let me, again, more outlines. When in doubt, just fucking add outlines. It's not as if I know what the fuck that means, right? So you're like, yeah, when in doubt, just add little cutouts. There you go. Wow, look at that. It's a design. Oh my god. Right, but okay, an hour and 4 minutes. There you go. Did my 4 fucking hours. I have the week prepared till the, what is it, 23rd, so 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. And then 28th and 29th, I'll record 1 to 2 more, so I'll have it set for the rest of the year. I get to relax, I get to rest. I'll probably just draw like chill. I'm not gonna be doing any more like main drawing like this, right? Probably I will, maybe in my own time. And if I do, I'll be transparent and be like, hey, I did like maybe an hour, or like I drew like 3 of these or whatever. But great practice. I genuinely think I improved. I genuinely think I'm getting it down. Genuinely think I'm getting it down a bit better, right? And again, like if I want to, the biggest thing right now is like when it comes to when it comes to designing these things is obviously getting the symmetry understood, like understanding the symmetry, trying to keep that projection in my head as much as possible. This is still very off, by the way. Like we can tell this is off, right? Like this one, the center line, the vertical center line is more like this, right? Which is, and this one is like this, right? So it's a subtle difference, but an important difference, right? But that's the thing. Now, like, again, these are mistakes, and I force myself to feel good because now I can tell myself in my mind and everything, it'll be able to recognize, because I recognize, it'll be like, okay, like there's that shift that needs to be made. Synapses firing, neuroplasticity, like all that shit, right? But TLDR, let's all hashtag ViggyFam together, right? Let's hashtag ViggyFam. What does that mean? Growth mindset, focus on the errors, focus on the effort, derive enjoyment. That's what it means to be a hashtag ViggyFammer. All right, you don't even have to follow this channel. Just know that anytime you're evoking feelings of positivity towards your learning journey and you're only focusing on the effort and you're trying your best, you're hashtag ViggyFamming, right? I'm gonna run this shit into the ground until it actually sticks, right? I.e., I'm never letting go of it because it's my channel. But yeah, with that being said, hope you had fun. I need to fucking export all these videos now. It's gonna take like 3 hours. Wonderful, wonderful. But yeah, with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please, give me money.